For those of you who might have copped a shufti at this channel now and again, you will have seen WhoDoesWhat.tv's Bahrain television reports on the Bahrain International Airshows over the years. Now the fourth is here in 2016. The subject material is vast. The Eurofighter Typhoon simulator report we did, business jets and Martin Baker ejector seats, to the old lady Spitfire rebuild. Not everything has a British flavour, of course, far from it, but most of those just mentioned happen to be. Again, we stick with the British Pavilion here, simply because it's well represented, and more importantly, openly accessible by comparison to some others.
Standing next to me, there's a face that you'll recognise. It's Adam Thomas. He's the UK government's spokesperson for Defence Security Organisation, and he knows a lot about trade missions and everything else to do with avionics and beyond. So let's have a word with Adam. Good to see you again, Adam.
Well, good to be back to media. Good to be back and see you flourishing so well in Bahrain.
And looking younger.
And looking fairly much younger, yes. Good to be back. Good to see you working with so many companies here. It's terrific.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Now tell us, there's a lot going on this one. Tell us.
Well, it's an amazing opportunity. This is 200 years, your great-great-great-grandparents and my great-grandparents and the Bahrainis, the 200th anniversary. And this is a great opportunity to recognise what's happened in all those years. And it's great that after 200 years, we're even stronger friends than we started. And that covers all the sectors. But what's been highlighted here, of course, is the whole aspect of the Bahrain Airshow. And you'll see here everything from Spitfires to Typhoons. But what's also been nice is to share with the Bahrainis their show, which we think actually is still one of the most important in the region, and we think is a fantastic networking event. So for all the air shows around the world, don't forget Bahrain's really, really important. If you're here, you can get great access to decision makers, great business to business, and identify opportunities for the future in the defence and security sectors. So a real opportunity to be here.
Now, 2 years ago, we met, you saw us. Has there been a sort of follow-on? Has the trade been good?
Yeah, it's been really good. If you remember, we launched through you 2 years ago an initiative for UK companies to register their interest in the UK. We now have companies who've registered their interest in the UK. They've had a chance to apply for UK contracts. I can't say whether they've got them or not, but news stations like you were able to help Bahrain companies get access to the UK market. That's why we're so pleased to be working with you again.
Thank you very much. So also, what's going to happen now? This will go after the air show, of course. It'll be there. So there's 2 years from now. You hope for what's actually going. What's the interest? What's most of the interest?
Okay,
here?
well, there's three things. First of all, the first of all is aviation security. And at a time in the region when many aircraft are being built and airports are being built, people are concerned about their safety. They're concerned about the protection of their airports. So we've been coming here to listen as much as tell people what to do about the whole security situation. Also, people want to protect critical national infrastructure. Even though oil prices are low, people want to protect their gas and oil markets. There's been significant interest in that. Most importantly also, there's been the modernisation of air forces in the Gulf. And as you know, a number of air forces have Typhoon, but there's a real, I would say, real competition now to supply the requirements. But what countries in the region have done wonderfully well, they've linked that to their industrial strategies. So what that means now, that if you want to sell an aircraft to countries in the region, what's the buyback for them? And that's everything from academia, investment, long-term partnerships. So they're very smart customers, including Bahrain. They will want some industrial benefit for anything that they buy.
So it's been good for you so far this time, yeah?
Terrific. Companies have flourished here. You know, we've got to congratulate the organisers of the superb show. And it's great that the media continue to take such an interest in the show, such as yourselves, and actually help project the profile of the show and of the companies that are here. So it's great to see people like you and the big new organisations here actually helping promote the show externally.
Excellent. Well, I don't want to keep it all to myself, but I'll just tell you, if you ever want to know anything about this sort of stuff, this is the man, Adam Thomas. Thank you very much.
A great pleasure seeing you, and good luck for the future with your organisation.
Thank you very much indeed. Excellent.
Okay, bye.
There, I tell you, he knows everything.
With any air show, there's so much going on to report about, and so many media concerns all after a word. It can be very difficult outside of boring press conferences to get to the individuals who are actually exhibiting. But the British Pavilion was gagging for a little camera companionship.
Now, WhoDoesWhat.tv are always on the lookout for little bits and pieces, as we are for any television. Now, we've come across something very interesting here, a company called Escan Electronics. And the gentleman in front of me right now is Andy Williams. He's the executive director. Are you a secret man?
No, not at all. I'm not a secret man. Some of the business that we do is quite sensitive, so naturally we don't continuously promote what we do. We work with government agencies only throughout the world. We're a British company. We work with British government agencies, law enforcement and military, and by that absolute nature, obviously we have to be protective on some of the technology that we use.
You're a commercial company, but you're not commercial as out there. You only work with governments because of the sensitivity of some of your stuff. Yeah?
That's exactly it, sir. Yeah, we only supply to government agencies. Some of our equipment is obviously export controlled, so we don't supply to other commercial companies. It has to be going to a military, government, law enforcement or intelligence agency.
So this is all radio stuff and radar and stuff like that. So what's your main, what do? You go through it?
Sure. So we've got 4 main areas that we specialise in, from surveillance, and we make a number of surveillance products, counter-surveillance products to obviously counter any targeted surveillance, RF jamming and night vision.
RF jamming, as in what, high frequency stuff or just?
So low frequency all the way through to high frequency. We cover the bands and frequencies from 10 megahertz all the way up to 15 gigahertz, depending on what we're trying to jam, depending on the end user's requirement.
Would that be satellites as well?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. We have satellite jammers, yeah, GPS satellite jammers, yeah.
I'd like to know how that works, but I don't suppose you're ever going to tell me, are you, really?
You're right there, sir, yeah.
Now, the other thing is drones. Drones, they're in vogue at the moment. Everything's Now, you are working on this big time, aren't you?
We are, yes. This year, or in 2015, we developed a anti-drone system. There's a big requirement, as you quite rightly said. Drones are on vogue by people looking to survey other countries, governments, military, and also for the delivery of IEDs and that type of thing. Drones can carry big payloads now. So we need, in addition to the other methods that we use to stop drones, we needed to find a way of electronically disabling them, but also putting a protective field around a particular area, and that's what we've developed.
You showed me something here behind. It's not on the screen at the moment. We'll look at that in a moment.
Sure.
And that, it's like a dome or something, is it?
That's it. That's exactly it, sir. Yeah, what it is, it's an RF shield. So it's an invisible shield created by a jammer, specially designed by Escan. And the way we go out and we look at the building, if it's going to be a building that we're going to put it onto, might be a palace, might be a military building, might be a government building, or it might be an environment, it might be a land border or a particular area where we need a sterile zone that can't be subject to drone intrusion. So we design our antennas specifically to ensure that that area is covered. So ultimately it will stop 1,500 metres away from a zone and 4,500 metres high. It puts a curtain or an invisible shield around that area, so as the drone approaches, it cannot penetrate that zone.
You send it back on its way then, really?
So yeah, so we've got 3 options. We can send it back if it's controlled by GPS and it's got GPS coordinates, because obviously sometimes they're sent to a particular area, the drone will be sent via GPS. We've got the ability to corrupt that data and send it back to its original GPS coordinates. Secondly, we can again corrupt the data and we can send that to the ground. We can bring the drone down to the ground safely. Or finally, we can again interfere with it so it flies round and round in circles, gives us the option to either destroy it if necessary, or the power supply will finish and it will drop to the ground. So it's very specialised equipment designed and manufactured by ourselves and incredibly cutting edge at the moment.
And I'd imagine the ideas, without going into too much detail, the system, the ideas are limitless. I mean, for example, the Pentagon would be a perfect building you'd want to protect. Yeah?
Sure, absolutely.
Could you actually, without giving too much away, could you have prevented 9/11? Could you have sent the aircraft away?
We're dealing specifically with drones. Drones work on certain frequencies. We know what frequencies they work on, so it's not designed to inhibit planes and aircraft. That's not what it's designed to do. Obviously it's a protective measure and it's designed to protect premises, but it's certainly not something I could claim that we could have stopped any dramatic event like that. But it's there in an additional layer to the protective measures that agencies and governments have at the moment. They might have CCTV, they might have soldiers around a particular area. This is technology, using technology to add another layer against the latest threat, which is often drones. That's what it's designed for.
Well, lastly, then you mentioned IDEs as well. Now, that is a very big problem. The army and that have developed many things against that. Is there a personalised thing you're starting to look, where they could sort of help this?
We have a mobile version, so in addition to a static version, we can equip it to a vehicle. So that again will put a protective barrier around. It might be a VIP. It might be a VIP moving from A to B. In addition to the other security they've got around that convoy, we can put our drone jammer up and again create that bubble, not just around the VIP, but also up in the air to prevent that coming in. So if someone does try and send an IED on a drone to target someone, we've got the capability to prevent that.
Excellent. So how's the fair been? How's the exhibition been?
It's been first class. It's been absolutely brilliant. It's excellent to be in Bahrain. The people have been fantastic. There's been a lot of interest in our product. So yeah, we're enjoying the sun in Bahrain.
Sounds good. I hope you get good results, man.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well, there you go. I really, it's so sensitive. I really can't tell you where this man lives, because he knows a lot. But very good indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
$139 companies and 92 delegations representing 34 countries attended. This showed a 60% growth in participation since the outset in 2010. As we speak, 2018 is planned for the next show, so expect an even greater turnout. Around 100 aircraft, both military and civil, were seen on the apron of Sakhir Air Base, with media from 21 countries, all vying for position, and that's not to mention just those in Bahrain. Apart from avionics or aircraft sales, 5 contracts were awarded as part of Bahrain Airport's modernization and expansion program.
On a stand, I've just come by Rusada, and I'm going to talk to Scott Leslie, who's the marketing manager. Scott.
Good afternoon.
I know nothing about this, but you tell me what's going on. It's quite an interesting thing, isn't it?
Yeah, we do MRO software, which is maintenance, repair and overhaul software for OEMs, MRO service centres or airlines. You can be a fixed wing operator or a rotary wing operator, or you name it, our software does it for you.
Well, you name it. What do you mean software? Flight management and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, flight operations, fleet manager, quality assurance manager, materials manager. Whatever you have in your store, we can manage it. Whatever staff you have on the ground, we can make sure you know where they are, when they are. You can make sure if they're using their time correctly. You can make sure the capacity planning is done properly, all the A, B, C and D checks, everything like that, you name it.
Where's Rusada based then?
We have offices in Glasgow and Oxford in the UK, and we have some smaller offices in Switzerland, Dubai and Singapore.
Oh, you're locally represented around here?
Yes, we have an office in Dubai, and we are near enough. We also have one in India as well, in Chennai.
So how's the operation been going? How long has it been going then for now?
We've been going for maybe 25 years or so.
Oh, a long time, yeah.
Yeah, we're very well established in the industry.
So in the aviation industry, I must admit, I've never heard of them before, but the thing is, everybody sort of knows you then, Rusada.
Yeah, we used to be called Russell Adams Limited.
Now, yes. Now I've got
See,
you.
Yeah. That's the thing that gets everybody every time. Yeah. We changed our name maybe about 6 years ago. So it used to be Russell Adams, now Rusada.
Now I've got you. Yeah. How's the show so far?
It's been good. We had some really good conversations with a couple of guys that are actually demoing here, which is good. We had a nice conversation with a potential customer this morning. It lasted 2.5 hours.
Oh.
The rest of the team took them through a demo. The show's been great. The air show has been fantastic. Yeah, it's been great.
I think you're very happy to be here. You weren't here last time, though, were you?
No, we weren't. No, first time here.
Oh well, best of luck there, and I hope that every success. A British company. I would say British, but I think there's a lot of Scots in it, isn't there?
There's two-thirds of the people here are Scottish. Yeah.
Just 2,000.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed there. Well, I wish them the best of luck.
Thank you.
There's not much Bahrain won't take a crack at if it means business. Who wants to go to Paris or Farnborough? Okay, me too. But let's face it, the weather is so much better in Bahrain, and you're overcome with friendliness.
Indigo Vision is a name that not necessarily associated with airlines, airports and so on, but they certainly know who they are, and so do a lot of other people. Manu Mohan is the regional manager and actually based in Dubai, but he's here today for there it is, you can see it up here, Indigo Vision. You told me a good story about this. You've got these cameras everywhere, haven't you?
Yes, we do have cameras everywhere.
I mean, supermarkets to airports.
Correct. We do work on all the verticals, but airport is a specific vertical wherein we have got around 100 airports globally. Nearest airport references include Doha Airport, Etihad Airways, Saudi Airlines, we have done some work. We are also doing some other airports, including airports in Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi, Qatar, Dubai as well.
So if I'm walking through now one of the Saudi airports and I'm on the screen, that's your cameras watching me.
Partially, I'm not saying that fully, but some places we are installed some cameras.
It's not only security you do, but you do security, don't you?
I mean, camera is not our core business. We provide cameras, software, storage, and we integrate third-party systems. Third-party systems include access control, baggage scanning, automatic number plate recognition systems, fire alarm systems, BMS, intercom. I mean, any I/O, any input and output devices we could integrate to our system.
Do you do tiny cameras to huge cameras?
We do have miniature cameras. We do have rugged IP68 cameras, which has got Viper, IR LEDs, night vision, all made in UK. Having said that, we have got a new range of cameras, body-worn cameras. So what it does is, you can flip it over here, and this can be your name badge.
Or you slide the card in there, yeah?
Yes, we have slide the card in. Then what we could do is, you can record audio and video for 8 hours. So
8 hours?
Yeah, once your shift is finished, you come back here, you put it on a docking station, put it here, all is transferred to the computer. And this is totally encrypted, meaning my encryption is here as well as here embedded.
If I'm going to be holding that, I could be a policeman, for example, and this could be my 8-hour shift with my tag on here, and I'm recording everything I do, correct?
Correct.
So security guards, this is aimed at that sort of thing then, yeah?
Correct.
And this is the wireless version. You can see the wireless version here, much the same, all HD, and 8 hours again, I suppose, yeah?
8 hours again. If you could reduce the recording resolution, you can go up to 12 hours.
Well, it's no good him giving me one free. I'll tell you why. As much as I want one, unfortunately, everything on here is encrypted, as Manu said. So I would need this other machine here to... So I'm going to chat him up and see if I can get the machine as well, and a few free cameras as well. How's the show been, Manu?
Very good response, and especially airline is much focused. We got very good response, and we are hoping that we will be participating in the near future as well.
Yeah. And it's Edinburgh. This is a British company based in Edinburgh, yeah?
Correct. We are based in Edinburgh.
And you're up from Dubai and you represent the whole Gulf area, yeah?
I represent the Middle East, the whole Gulf.
But Bahrain, we're in Bahrain. You have a representative here, don't you?
We do have a representative in Bahrain, and some of the references in Bahrain include Bahrain Islamic Bank, Al Akhli Bank, Garmco Oil, Aluminium Mill, and Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. These are the places we have got currently references.
So you're well established here already?
We are selling this Bahrain market since 2008.
2008, oh. Manu, very good to meet you, and I wish you best of luck with it. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
So there you are. That's a toy that I would love in my collection. Thank you very much indeed. Indigo System, Indigo Vision. There you go.
The 2016 Bahrain International Airshow was, to say the least, a success for this small country and its willingness to host with such openness. Look out for more airshow inserts on this channel. This is Geg Hopkins for WhoDoesWhat.tv.